Deivon Smith, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You good means the shoulder's good. How's the shoulder feeling?
Better, it's moving. I'm moving around.
Yeah? Now, I said to you before we started rolling here, I said if this was like a Big East tournament game or maybe a little later in the season, you think you could have played the other night or no?
I would have gave it a try.
You would have given it a shot.
Yeah.
So when you went out there, and it's amazing, the Villanova game, you took a shot, and St. John's fans were very worried. And then you came back in, and you just sat right down in front of Pitino, like basically saying, put me in. You made a couple of passes with your left hand. You had a shot in the corner that you passed up, probably smart. What did it feel like when you were on the court that night?
Before I got hurt, the energy was amazing.
Yeah.
Almost a sellout crowd. We was hyped, amped up. Our adrenaline was through the roof. But that injury, I felt some pain on that. Kind of felt a little life come out the air in the arena. But
Yeah.
my guys, they put it all together. They played hard for me. Everybody just told me to keep my head up. They're going to get through it. They was going to take care of business, and they did that night.
Now, I know it's got to be really tough sitting there and watching you boys get after it against Georgetown. You couldn't play or you didn't play. Silver lining as a point guard, could it maybe help you to watch and now see your teammates maybe in a different light? Because you're always playing with them, but can you get something out of sitting there and watching a little bit or no?
Even those last two games, I got to really see their strengths, see what spots they really comfortable in. Just from not a coach's perspective, but just just another eye. They all play super tough. Just even missing me with the pace and just helping out on the glass and rebounding stuff. The team's courage and just the heart they have is big. I respect each and every last one of them. That was a tough game.
Yeah.
I know I bring a lot of energy, and down 15, it felt like a road game at first. So I commend them a lot for that. It made me happy. It makes it easier for when I come back to just come in and fit in and just do my thing. But I'm super proud of them.
So you're from Atlanta, in the Big Apple, and we don't really know your personality yet. We see you play, jump through the roof, play 90 miles a minute. What do you like off the court? Because I want to tell you something that my son said about you, but I want to get your answer first. What do you like off the court?
Shoes and clothes. I love shoes. My shoe collection is crazy.
What's your favorite one? What do you got? How many Jordans you got? You got to have about 20 of them.
Probably like 50, 60.
50 pairs of Jordans?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Is it what year? What style?
Jordan 4s.
Oh, this guy's dialed in. All right, so here's what my son says. My son's 10. He plays basketball. He's so into massive St. John's fan. Loves you. And he said more than once, he's like, man, Deivon never smiles, which is not a bad thing. And then he actually saw you smiling. I was doing the game. He took a picture of you on the bench smiling. He's like, hey, he smiled. You're on the court. You're all business. You are intense. So that obviously works for you. Have you always been like that? Kind of quiet and then just do your thing when the lights go on?
Pretty quiet. I stay to myself, but if you get to know me, I'm a real good guy, super funny, crack jokes all day. But when I'm on that court, I'm dialed in, I'm locked in because it's a lot of noise. You gotta weed out the fans that's not with us, and then you have our fans. So I kind of just tune them all out until the game's over, or I get a chance to respond to everybody and just share love. But I'm a good guy. I smile a lot.
You all right? But no, I didn't say you weren't a good guy. I just say like when the game's going on, you're locked in, which is not a bad thing. So the vertical, where are we at with the vertical? What's the number right now? It's absolutely insane how high you jump. What's the number?
I tested it last year, and I was at 45 at Utah.
45.
Yeah, but at Mississippi State, my freshman year, I got to 46, so I might be
slacking. What's
I
going
might be
on,
getting
man?
a little old. Fifth year.
So, athletes, when you're young, 7, 8, 9, you could tell who's fast, who could jump, who's got some coordination. Could you tell right away that you just jumped higher than everybody? I mean, when you're a little guy.
It's crazy. I was the smallest person on my team, but we'll play like a 2-3 zone, like Little League, and I'll be in the middle of it.
They put you in the middle. I'm like Zuby.
Just a rebound.
Like Zuby almost. Really? Really? So you weren't a point guard. When did you get the ball in your hands?
No, I'm getting the ball and going. That's how.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a big part of my game now. I feel like I developed that younger. I played on my dad's team, and whatever I needed to do, or he wanted me to do, I just do it.
Was he tough on you?
Very.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
He is?
If I have a bad game, he don't even call me no more.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, because he's a coach, he's not going to tell you what to do instead of what Rick tells you to do, but he's got to weigh in like, hey, I see this, and what about that? He's got to still chime in with schematics and just how to play the game.
He sat in some practices, and he heard Coach Pitino out loud and just previous coaches, so he already know I don't need no more Because I can't go back and forth with them, but I can go back and forth with my dad a little bit. So
Yeah,
he'll
yeah.
just let me chill for a day. We'll talk about it the next day.
What's it like playing for Rick?
It's amazing. I've had 4 coaches in college, but just playing for him, he gets in the gym with us. He works on game moves, game shots. He believes in each and every one of us. It's not a shot he doesn't want us to take. If we're working hard, putting the time in, he wants us to go out there and show the world what we're capable of doing, and he just gives us a lot of confidence, honestly.
Yeah. A good example of that is SimWilcher, who the last 2 games has not shot the ball well, but he had a massive bucket against Nova. That was the pull-up, little 15-footer. And then against Georgetown, the huge 3. I think he's a perfect example because Coach says it all the time. I don't care if you miss 10 straight. If you're open, shoot it. You got a good shot, take it. So Wilcher really, that applies to him. Do you help him? You're older. You've seen more. Do you get in his ear a little bit or no?
I was in his ear all game. I was seeing him get down on himself. I'm like, look at A. Scott. A. Scott just went on a crazy stretch without hitting the shot. I'm like, it's all right. The basketball guys got you. And he just kept shooting. He hit a big one for us.
He did. So go back to the Nova game. You had, 3 threes early, right? It was boom, boom, boom. And because the three-point struggles have been talked a lot about this year, your percentage last year was almost 39%. So you can shoot. And do you feel you put it up? Are you a confident shooter? I know when you get to the bucket, I know you have great confidence with that fast break. There's no doubt. But do you rise up and fire with great confidence as a jump shooter?
I spend a lot of time in here, so I do. I did want to take that approach this year and just work on my jump shot a lot because that was kind of a knock, just being a consistent shooter. So I just wanted to show them I could hear what they say, and I'm taking heed to it and working on my game, staying in the lab with all of our coaches. So I'm a real confident shooter and scorer. I think
you should be.
I think I could play with the best of them and give anybody a run for their money.
I would agree. Hey, one of the things that's interesting, and it's hard, it's different for Pitino, who's done this forever, and he's one of the best of all time. I think everybody would agree with that. But now with transfers and every year the roster is different, you're learning all these new teammates, so is Kadari. And Kadari's used to having the ball in his hands. You're more of a pure point. He's a really good passer. I think he's a great interior passer.
I agree.
So how is it with you getting yours and you doing your thing and still making sure that Kadari's tapping into his skill set? How does that go?
I think we feed off each other really well. I wasn't sure how it worked. I knew it worked because I played AAU in high school with 3 spectacular guys that also, could handle the ball. But I think we feed well off each other. I think we both play in the flow of the game. We both look for our teammates, and it creates easy opportunities for us. So I think we're flowing pretty good. Gelling well.
Yeah,
I think we're pretty good.
He's strong. I mean, he gets inside that
He's
paint.
a big guard.
He's a horse.
He's a big guard, and he's an offensive fouler in practice.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he's
he pushes off stuff like
Yeah.
that. They don't call them on that in the games too much. Did you just not do it as much in the games?
It's Big East. That is one thing he told me when I came here. Big East, they're pretty tough with the whistle. So he got me prepared for that. I mean, we go at it. I was on the white team a lot this summer. We went at it just competing.
Head-to-head?
Yeah, competing a lot. And good friend off the court, on the court. We laugh, smile all day. So he's a good guy.
I love it. I was going to ask you about the Big East. You kind of led me there. What's your initial impressions? You haven't played Marquette yet. You played at Creighton, which is a really tough venue. You haven't seen UConn yet. So far, almost halfway through, what do you think of the conference?
It's physical. A lot of talent, a lot of good players. Everybody's dialed in. Everybody's really focused in this conference. Nobody wants to lose. You see DePaul went into overtime, tough game last night. So it's a crazy conference. You got to come put your boots on every night and be ready to work.
What's the ceiling for this team? How good can you guys be?
I think we're a Final Four team. I think we could make that run. Coach P has been preaching Broadway, just allowing the world to see us. But in order to do that, we have to win games and just buy in and what he's telling us and all the coaches. So I think we've made a huge jump, and we're super focused right now. I think everybody's seeing the results and accomplishments of just staying down and playing hard. So I think we're super focused right now.
All right, last thing. Speaking of pros, I remember sitting here last year talking to Coach, talking to Danis Jenkins about being a pro. And I remember I'm watching him. I'm like, all right, he's more of a mid-range guy than a three-point shooter, which is kind of counter to the NBA now. But halfway through, I'm like, he looks like a pro to me. And here he is with the Pistons on the two-way deal. You going to make the NBA? You feel it?
That's the goal, just getting on Broadway, playing for Coach Pitino, those good words, and just showing the world that we could win on the biggest stage with 5 other great players. I think our whole lineup and a couple guys on the bench have a bright future. I think everybody could play at the next level.
This is awesome. All right, so we're signing off, but I want, again, my man said ceiling, Final Four. So we're not backing away from that, right?
No, not at all. First, Big East championship, we want to win the league. The next step after that is Final Four.
Deivon, great having you on the show,
Thank you.
man.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And my son absolutely loves watching you.
I gotta meet him. I gotta get a picture with him next
He's
time.
a baller. All right, we'll get that done. He's
Yeah.
coming to the Seton Hall game. He'll be on the court actually Saturday night.
Saturday.
There he is. Thank you,
you.
Deivon.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome. We'll get a quick timeout. More of the Red Storm Report next, right here on MSG.